Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games. Today's bonus game is Word Peaks, which has had an interesting update to it. So we'll check that out. Vegeta, who makes the, I know Vegeta is a pretty common screen name, but the Vegeta who creates Word Peaks is on the Puzzle Plaza Discord server. If you haven't joined that, why not? And is the creator of the game and made an announcement there that there were some cool updates. So we'll check that out. So for Dordle, we'll start with peaks for word peaks. All right. I'm thinking the left word starts with SP, but I want to guess this right word because there's only one known letter. So end in E. I don't know why I thought of trove, but why not? Okay. I'm thinking the left word is probably, or not the left word, the right. Yeah, the left word. That way's left. Okay. Actually, for you, that cameras, how do they work? The preview that I have that I look at on my camera is mirrored, and that always can. I mean, it's nice that it's mirrored, but I point the wrong direction. But if I point this way, I'm actually pointing at what I see on my screen as left, and it's my left, but I should have pointed that way because for you, it's that way. But if I point this way, I'm actually first pointing at the one on the left. Anyway, it's confusing. Maybe we should play this game. I'm not going to hit enter on spoon though, because I don't think it's exact. It might not be exactly right, and we wouldn't learn much guessing spoon if it was wrong. So we can just guess this right word. Why did I think of thine? Okay, it can't be because it doesn't end in E. I was really ready to guess thine. 10th may not be a bad idea. Let's try it. You know what? It wasn't. T8. There's two T's. TH is my thought. THE. And then the T at the end. Ooh, that doesn't look good. I think I thought I might be able to get away without a cough drop, but I think I need one. All right. This doesn't look good to me. How are we doing this? T, it doesn't have to have the H at the end. Or sorry, the H second at the end. It cannot have the H at the end. It also does not have to have the H second. But what are we? Something like, oh, tithe. No, it can't end in E. Ooh, tithe was a good idea otherwise. This actually removes any possibility for there to be an E. So that's no good. Why can't I think of this word? TWE something T? Like, oh, it could be tweet. It isn't, though. Oh, because there needs to be an H. Well, it's THE something T, which was my initial thing I thought of. What? What's this word? Am I crazy? Could it be EHT? I mean, that looks terrible. I'll see how that works. THE something T. IT. UT. LT. Let's just try all the letters. QT. YT. UT. IT. DT. Theft. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was obvious. All right, and we're going to try, not spook, not spoon. How about spool? Okay, it wasn't SP. Hopefully I don't lose. Oh, it couldn't have been, because O couldn't have been third. I made 2 mistakes this game. I deserve to lose if I do. I got lucky if I don't. Soupy. Got lucky. All right. Oh, there's a soup thief. Sounds like a Seinfeld episode. No soup for you. All right. Let's do Fibble. Ooh, crypt. So the way Fibble works, it's thinking of a secret word, just like Wordle. The coloring works like Wordle, but one of the colors is lying. In every guess, exactly one of the colors is lying. So maybe this P, even though it's green, should have been yellow or gray. Or maybe this C is gray, looks gray, but it should have been yellow or green. Exactly one of them is lying. We don't know which. We don't know how, right? It's not that grays always lie as yellow. They could lie as either. So what I like to do, if possible, is use the positive information, like put the R somewhere else, use the P where it is, and bring in one of the grays, which would be our lie, like end in Y or something. And then new letters otherwise. And the reason for that is, first of all, I play in hard mode, which means I can only guess words that could be the answer. So this 1 next to crypt is telling me that I have 1 lie in crypt, which is correct. If it was empty, that would mean 0, or if it had like a 2 or a 3, that would mean that that's no good. It has too many lies. And so the lie here is that the Y is gray in crypt, but I'm bringing it in anyway. I'm treating it like a yellow. And the reason that I want to do it this way is there's the biggest possibility of finding a lie, of finding a contradiction, because the R, P, or Y, if those end up lying, they could easily end up contradicting with how they appeared in crypt. If I, for example, instead just used an R, like let's say I did an ER word and used all new letters, like liner, right? The problem with liner is that only the R has the opportunity to find a contradiction. I'd have to get very lucky to find a contradiction with the R. And so we'd have less idea of what the lie is. So I like to at least, especially early on, try to find those lies. I think I can guess harpy. Okay, so here we go. I found a contradiction here. I found 2 contradictions. That's exactly what we're looking for, because we've basically narrowed down where the lie is. Let me tell you what I mean. Crypt has 1 lie and harpy has 1 lie. So in total, between crypt and harpy, there are 2 total lies. 1 in crypt, 1 in harpy. 1 + 1 is 2. Hopefully that's clear. Now, there has to be a lie between these 2 P's because they disagree. They can't both be true. You can't have a P here and no P in the word. So there's a lie in these P's, but also these Y's. This Y is gray and this Y is green. Those also contradict. There has to be a lie in these Y's. So if there's a lie in the P's and there's a lie in the Y's, that's both of our lies. We only get 2 lies. So we can't have any other letter lying. Not a single other letter can lie other than Y or P, because one of the Y's is lying and one of the P's is lying, and there are 2 lies total. So by using this blue outline, which you get by right-clicking on them, to designate that those letters are not lying, that this is actually true information. So there's no T, no C, no H. There is an R in the word, but not in either of these spots, and there's an A in the word, but not in this spot. So I could potentially try to start with R and end with APY, but I don't think that's a word. Like raspy is a word, but that would not work because we'd be putting A second. So I think probably the situation, so there's only 2 possibilities. Either this Y is lying, which makes this P true, which makes this Y P lying, which makes this Y true. So we end in PY, that's one possibility. The only other possibility is this P was lying, which then makes this Y true, which means this Y was lying, which means this P true. And so there's no P or Y. And I think that's what happened. So I don't think we can end in PY at this point. So we're forced just to use this AR. I mean, we could do like a word starting with A and ending in ER. I think there's a few of those. Alter, but there's no T. After, but there's no T. What are we putting before that ER? Do I really not see it? I see adder. You know, I don't really mind guessing double letters in Fibble. Let's see if it happens. It didn't. Sometimes the double letter on its own can point out where the lie is because there are some impossible colorings. In this case, if this D was gray and this D was yellow, that's actually an impossible coloring because it prefers putting yellows left. But this is still good. I think I can assume that this D is the lie because we know there's an R in the word. We know there's an A in the word. So that seems reasonable. And E is very common, but okay, so what would that mean? Let's say that D was lying. So A would be here, R would be forced here, because that would be the only spot left for it, with the A taking the first spot. And then maybe end in E, or like an E here. Really, the E could go in either spot or both. What would we do here? Like alert, but there's no T. ER what other than ERT? You know, I could also end in RE. We could bring in another vowel. We have plenty of left, O, U, and I. Or we could repeat the E, or we could repeat the A. So lots of options. But at the same time, I don't see a word. I see a door, but the problem with a door is it actually doesn't have any lies in adder. I could do adorn. So adorn actually has the E lying instead of the D. Let's give that a try. Okay, we found contradictions at least. So one of these D's is lying. And probably my suspicion is correct that there's just no D in the word. But because one of these D's is lying, we can't make this A a lie. Because if this A is a lie, this A completely agreed with it, it would also have to be a lie, or it would contradict. But now that's both of the lies, and we don't have a lie for the D left. So these have to be true. Both of them have to be true. We also know there is an R in the word. We already knew that. Because the A is at the start, one of these R's has to be lying. Think about it. We know this R wasn't lying and this R wasn't lying. So the R is in the 4th or 5th slot, but both of these are yellow. So one of these was supposed to be green and is lying as yellow. Also, one of these D's is lying. So if you're not a D and you're not one of these R's, you're not lying. Cool. So I suspect this D is lying, which means that's true, which means this R was the lie. So I think we are A, something, something R, E. I think we're back to this. The E could be elsewhere. The E could still be here. But I'm going to think about this first. Allure, maybe. Okay, so we're bringing the truthfulness of this A down. This R has to be the lie. We know there's an R in the word. So actually what happened here is we are A something U-R-E, just not allure. What else is left? Azure. Yeah, that's a hard word. I think I did well though. This was a fun solve. We got 2 of our what I call X-wings, where we could really narrow down where the lies were between 2 letters. We got that twice. And recognizing this one as having to have a lie between these R's, I think that was really important. That was cool. I enjoyed doing that. And then and then the rest kind of came. I think I did good guesses too. Cool. Well, how'd you do? All right, let's play Betweenle. I'll start with mouse. So what this orange dot is telling us is that the answer is alphabetically between mouse and the end of the dictionary, but it's significantly closer to the end than the beginning. 16% of our words are between our word and the end, and 30% are between mouse and our word. So I think starting with T, I think T might be a little bit too close to the end, but let's give it a try. Let's start with an early T, like tawny. Okay, that was still, okay. So I think we start with S, but we're kind of like a middling S. We could even be ST, but I'm going to try SP instead. Maybe spout. Just really, I only care about the first and second letter at this point. Okay, so we are closer to tawny than spout, but tawny is TA. So I think we do need to do like ST then. Maybe steep. That did not move the needle at all. So maybe we need to get past all the ST words. There's a bunch of them. And we need to do like SW instead. Swine. Okay, that was way closer. So we need to be a little bit past swine, but not much. Like swoon. Okay, I didn't quite go far enough. We need about 3 more words ahead of swoon. So swoop is the next word, so it's not going to be that. I don't see another SOO, so it's probably SWO, and then like a P, that doesn't look good, or an R. Sworn could be definitely possible. Okay, not quite. Went too far with sworn, so we're definitely SWO. Because swoon and sworn both agree about SWO, so that it has to start with SWO. And then now this letter's between O and R, which it shows on the keyboard here. Well, we're not doing Q, so probably probably something like swore instead of sworn. Oh my gosh, okay. So I went 1 word, I should have gone 2 words. It can't be swoop. That's too close to swoon. But there's no, oh, sword. I was gonna say there's no other word before sword with an R there, but that's wrong. Sword is definitely there. Cool, nice, got it in 9. How'd you do? All right, let's check out this update to Word Peaks. I haven't played it in a while. The way this game works is each individual letter slot that you guess your word. In fact, let's start with a word. Let's start with, don't ask me why, but polio is actually a really good start for this game. I did a little computer search. Okay, so let's go over the rules to the game first. Greens are greens, so this letter is an O. If it's blue, then that means that we need to be closer to A alphabetically in that slot. And so we just need to be between A and O in this slot here. This slot, because it's orange, that means we're between M and Z. We're after L in the alphabet. We're closer to Z in the alphabet. I think some people visualize, we've had discussions about this, some people visualize the alphabet differently. And if I say before or after or earlier or later, people interpret that differently. But closer to A and closer to Z, it cannot be confused. So this one's closer to Z than L. This one's closer to A than I. This one's closer closer to Z than O. So what should we guess? I like to do a middling letter in each slot when possible. So we could do like an FO or a GO or HO. Let's put GO in, but we can always adjust that. Here I like R, or if we wanted a vowel, I could do another O. I could do a U. Let's do a U. I might change that G. I can't end in E. So that kind of makes the OU a little bit harder, doesn't it? I could end in T. That would be really nice. So I might start adjusting this. I was considered briefly whether we could end in GHT, but there's a lot of reasons we can't, including that this can't be a G. What would we end with here? Because like ST is gone. We can't do ST or NT. Ideally, I'd put an E here, actually. So I think I need to rethink some of these letters. Maybe an ER word. OTER would be great. Is there a word for that? Like doter. Let's go with doter. Oh yeah, and so as we make guesses, this little image here, which we can interact with, is algorithmically based on what our guesses were, which is pretty neat. So we got the greens and oranges and blues from our guesses. So we ended up being an OER word. That's what the update was, I'm pretty sure, as this sort of visual improvement. It's kind of neat. I enjoy that. After T, probably a V or a W. It doesn't really matter which one I go with, but I'm going to go with W because of the off chance that it's Y. If I went with V, we still wouldn't know if it was W or Y. But if I go with W, that's right in between. Mower. All right, so we know it's OVER. If I'd gone with V, we would have also known that. Maybe hover. Nope. Lover. Picture's growing. Nice. All right, and that's our final picture. And we've got a few options here, some buttons down here. I can click this to remove the color. I can click this to make it bigger. I can click around on it, which is neat. It's windy. I can click this to regenerate a new one, I suppose. Neat. Or replay how it grew. Is it? I think it looks the same each time. And then this button lets you take a screenshot of it. I'm not going to click. Cool. Well, that is Word Peaks. Let me know how you did. All right, let's play Polygonle number 619. Nice. So we have an 8-letter word today, and this letter repeats and this letter repeats. When I have 3 unique letters at the end, I like to do ing, especially when some of them repeat, although this GI might be a problem. I mean, we could end in giving. No, we can't. Oh, yeah, we could. But I can't think of a word that starts with giving, like re-giving. Oh, it accepted that. Okay, IVI was correct. That's nice. This letter, I'm going to go with S just because there's a lot of plurals in this game. Maybe, what would we do here? Civets? Actually, I don't really like S very much here, do I? Civin. What are we doing here? IVI. We could end in ST. Like ist. I like the ist ending, but I don't know if I like tivist. Activist. Activist. Perfect. I managed to figure it out. I almost threw out tivist. Almost. Yeah, I don't know. For me, thinking about the suffix when the word actually ends with a suffix is very helpful. We didn't have very many options. 14 ordinary words. Breakage, cleavage, codified. I don't know what creosote is. Feminism. We had the ism ending. Yeah, there wasn't anything with an ing ending at all. Just regiving. That was it. So I found the one ing. Okay, cool. Let's do the mini. Stout. Don't ask me why. Polio. Okay, we have the two O's. Surprisingly, the O's were correct there. Forgo. Nope. I thought that was a good guess. Got nothing though. Wow. What are we up? We're not ending in IO. We can't be rodeo actually. I'm tempted to guess rodeo, but just get info, but we'll hold off on that. Is there another? I don't think there's another word that ends in odio. So what are we doing here? OA maybe? That doesn't look very good, does it? What are we doing here? I might guess rodeo just to get info, but it may not give me anything. Like, how do we squeeze in letters here? What letters are we putting in here? 3 unique ones. Maybe there's a Y here? I don't see it. Doesn't look great. Like NK, CK. Just filling this in to see if anything rings a bell. WN. That O ending. All right, let's see if rodeo gives us anything. It did not. Removed the D and the E. Coco? No, we can't repeat the C. Is there an AO ending? This is tough. Just the O's and nothing else? I very rarely turn off Hexpert for the mini, and it's usually if I'm just super stuck and can't think of anything to guess. Bongo. I can guess bongo. It's not correct, but I'm going to guess it. Okay, so O-N-O. We have one more guess. What goes here? Not W. Don't think Y. Don't think A. Don't think H. J. K. Zonko. I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of there. C-O-V-O. Like convo, like short for conversation. Oh my gosh, that... I didn't think that was going to be right. I was basically giving up. Holy cow. Convo, that's crazy. Wow, okay. Well, how'd you do on that one? Let's do Symble. I'll start with Blaze. Nothing from Blaze. We'll do Toxin. All right, we're going to assume O second. What are we going to write here? Soggy. No, sorry. All right, OR in place. Basically, at this point, we're assuming the purple is green and the green is gray. I don't think we even have to assume. I think there's no other choice. Yeah, there's no other choice. Purple is green, green is gray. Because the only letter we reused between these two was the O. What's going on with this word? Forum? Forum. Nice. That's what's going on with the word. Cool. 4, as usual. I have, it's off screen, but I have 433 fours. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's do the blind Fusele. We'll start with forum. We'll get the FO and R. We don't learn about the UM. They could be any color. We have to repeat a letter, so I'm going to see if I can repeat O here. Maybe like scoot. All right, there's a single O and it's right there. We're going to get a lie in this twist. What's like... Why did I think of epoxy? You know what? I'm going to guess it. All right, well, there's a lie. So one of the letters in epoxy is actually in. We'll be testing the E anyway, so what can we do? We're forced to guess E at the end here. The twist here is that E has been preset and can't be changed. Maybe bloke. All right, it wasn't the E line. That's surprising. Only because E is the most common out of P, X, and Y. We could see if we end in Y then. What would we do? Like O-N-Y? I don't see how to do that. We don't have to use the Y. What could we use? The P? We could do like P-H. Oh, but we can't do phone, right? This one we're going to get symbol-like yellows. So actually this is a really nice one to get good letters from. I don't know what to do with a P. OP something? OPH? PA? I don't know. OUP? Group? Can't do group. There's no R. There no R or L is really putting a damper on what I can do here. There's also not double O. So like, what are we putting as the second letter before this O? Like, do we need to put a vowel? Can't do AO. IO maybe. Can't do UO unless we do Q, UO. I don't like doing a Q in one of the best guesses we can do, like one of the best twists. Diode, can't do that. There's no E. I need to bring in a P, an X, or a Y. I don't want to bring in the X right now. I could bring in the Y if I can come up with a word. What about like OAP or something like that? The problem I'm having is how to fill these two with consonants. May have to use a vowel in one of these. So maybe we start with A, and then we'd be like APO or something. Apogee. No, can't do the P and the Y anyway, but it's spelled like... How is apogee spelled? I don't know. Or I don't know. Be in. I'm gonna have to do a filler here. I'm gonna do a pure filler. I would like to know if there's a P, if possible. IUA, something like that. Piano is not great because I don't need that O. But it gets some good letters otherwise. Pinch, but I don't like that C. What about something like windy? Test the Y. Windy or windy. Oh, okay, so it was the Y at the end, and this letter is a W or an I. So it's got to be the W, because the blue is telling us that a different letter, oh, it could be the N. A different letter, W, I, or N, a different letter in the word goes in the blue spot. So this is probably an N. Now here, we have to guess anything that doesn't have vowels. We're not allowed to guess the O and the Y, but let's see if we can figure out what the word is first. So now there's no P. We know that for sure. No W or I either. Or D. So no W, I, D, or P. Unless this is the W. Like showy or something. No, there's no S, but you know what I mean. Okay, maybe I need to think of a word that uses the W and the N. We have to remove all the vowels from it. So we need a long word where the vowels have been removed, like levitates to LVTTS in the example. What letters do I even want? I want the vowels at this point, to be honest, but I can't think of the word. I want an H. So wine. I mean, I could do whiners, right? But if is there any better? Maybe I can do like I can include the G. Let's see if any of these happen to be words here. No, we weren't gonna. Well, we don't know what we can do here. I don't need the D. We know there's no D in the word. All right. I don't need the P though. V N G or well, okay. What letters could I even include? Q I don't care about. W we're including. Can't include Y, U, I. P is not in the word. Can't include A. D is not in the word. We have the G. We have the H. I don't care about J. Don't care about Z or X. V, N, or M. So M would really be the only other useful letter to include. I don't think I'm going to be able to, so I'm not actually all that concerned. Let's just do whatever this is. There's an N and a G. Okay, so we know the N goes here because of our blue clue in the symbol, and then there's a G. It's agony. There we go. Okay, I got all the letters I could have. Took a while, but I got there. I could not think of agony. So this all was a bit agonizing. Ooh, sorry, I just need a stretch here. Big stretch. Okay. Ooh. That's good. Take a little break before the next puzzle. Limber up. All right. Let's play Don't Wordle. It's thinking of a secret word. We're trying not to guess it. So I'm going to start with kayak. Nothing from kayak. That's perfect. Now we do xylil. There is an X in the word. That's unfortunate. If I undo and just, I think knowing the answer is very helpful. So let's think about that for a second. Not many words have X. With an L, okay. Something like pixel is probably the answer. I'm tempted to guess voxel, but I think we're just going to assume it's pixel until proven otherwise. So I'm going to undo this, obviously. Only 15 words left. And we will not do xylil. We will do cucco is fine for pixel. We don't need the S anymore because we know what to avoid. So sus is great. Avoids pixel. Minim does not avoid pixel because it would have a green eye. So let's hold off on that. Fluff is, we already used the U up, so no fluff. Also, it has an L for pixel. We could use the Y. So the only vowels left are E and I. So we're going to have to introduce one of them. If I did a E, we can just keep using the E and move it around. So if I end in E, it'll be yellow. But that doesn't actually help. So maybe I could do like an eerie here. We're going to bring in both vowels, but I think it'll be okay. It's not pixel. It's exile. Ooh, okay. That was wrong. Can we avoid exile and do 2 more guesses? Maybe. We're probably doing this, right? something like evide a word or evide. I don't like the L there. Not right now. What? I don't know if any of these words are like real words that I would know. So we'd have to fish them out. There's elide. I feel like elide would force us to do exile. But if it doesn't force us to do exile, that means there's an easy alternative. So let's try it. We have undos. It was only exile. Okay, so we need to avoid the L. It might be easier just to undo this word. Let's just do that. Do I want to do that? Wait, how about email? No, emails. Email is something I already used the A in kayak. Never mind it. Almost got away with one cost drop today. Let's try all the repeated letter versions. E-Y, E-tight, E-yeah, E-pipe, E-died, E-fife, E-geig. Because I can end an elide. I bet there's an IDE word. But then I can't do elide, so that's no good. Maybe an I-N-E word? Like epine, or etine, or how about an I-T-E word? Like e-white, or e-ite. One of these is surely randomly a word, right? I don't want to use the D because I want to be able to do elide to end it. I could, of course, just undo and finish this. An evite. Ooh, that worked. Okay. Now we finish with elide and we're done. Okay. It was exile. Who knew? So what could I have done here? Edial? No good. Wouldn't have been able to guess that. E-I-G-N-E. Didn't even think to put the I after the E. Elide, elite. Elide and elite were both no good for that guess. Evite, ezine. So the only two things I could have guessed and still had another guess after were evite and ezine and ein. So 3 words. And I found evite. Nice. Cool. Well, those are the games for today. Hope you enjoyed them. And if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.